What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, here we go. Lee Hacklin, private investigator in Monster Crazy, Chapter 10. It was 1 a.m. by the time I arrived at Jean's Pomona bungalow in Darren's inconspicuous Rolls Royce. I espied at least 6 on my way here. I don't like to think of myself as materialistic, but I'm not immune to the allure of material wealth either. I looked around before breaking into Jean's house, which was easy enough with my echo chamber of a credit card. I locked the front door behind me and flicked on a light. His living room was a veritable library of hardback and paperback books and stacks of screenplays. And there were some comic books, too. Cool. I picked up a few screenplays and flipped through them. Oh, this is a good one. Mega Beast versus the Kremlin Kraken. Hello, what's this? An envelope fell out. I picked it up. No return address. I sat on Jean's couch and began to read. I hated doing this spying on people, talk about un-American, but sometimes in the pursuit of justice, the ends justify the means. My dear Jean, I think Buck is on to us. I have to end it. Not him and me and you. It's very sad because I love you and I despise him, but he's a millionaire and you're not. Suck it up. I hope we can still be friends. Velma. I heard a car door slam. No tip for you, you lecherous creep. You stared at my boobs for the entire trip. Not safe for work. Take a shower. God knows I sure need one. Come on, guys, let's get this party kicking. I tucked the letter into my back pocket, stood, drew my Browning, and pointed it at the door as it opened. Why are the lights? What the F are you doing here? Talk, Velma, and don't expect any mercy from me because you're a woman. In the war against evil, I don't discriminate. There were 2 men with her. If there's such a thing as a biker cutter machine, that's where they came from. This man's a trespasser, guys. Get rid of him. The beefier one said, what do you expect us to do, babe? He's got the drop on us. The skinnier one said, every man who's ever pointed a gun at me is dead. This one will be no different. He nonchalantly reached behind himself, and I nonchalantly put a bullet in his chest. Velma screamed, and the portly biker reached for the ceiling. Don't shoot me, man. You're in charge, okay? Better. Velma, close the door and talk. Maybe we can make a deal like Monty Hall. She did what I told her to, fell against the wall, and slid to her bottom. I snuck out a fire exit at the hospital. I met these boneheads, hey, at a biker bar. F off. Lee, I have $10 million. Darren, he doesn't know about it. Buck left me everything, including a Fort Knox level insurance policy. 1 million's fine. All I want is the truth. Why? The truth sets us free, Velma. Will you put away your play toy? When we're done, the floor is yours, Velma. She sighed heavily and said, Jean and I were having an affair, secretly. What you've seen between us is all an act. Buck suspected. I was in his trailer. He was wearing that ridiculous suit minus the head, and we were arguing. When he called me a slut, I picked up his bottle of Jack and caved his skull with it. The biker who is still alive, the biker who was standing gasped. Then Jean came in. It's a first draft. Then Jean came in. He went right into damage control mode. Buck was unconscious. Jean, pardon me, put the monster head on and taped it shut. He taped the mouth part shut and taped his arms together. Buck woke up and he suffocated. Great way to die, right? Who shot Jean's house last night? Zach. He's the director of all those shitty Mega Beast movies. I got hammered at our last rap party and I told him. He told me he had gambling debts. I knew Darren was going to hire you and that scared me. So I told Zach, if you make the death of that jackass Private Eye happen, I'll give you $1 million. I never imagined that he'd try to do it in such a ham-fisted way. God, men are the dumbest creatures on the planet. The biker with a hole in his chest rolled to his hands and knees and stood. There was a .45 in his hand. His buddy rushed me. 2 bullets later, and the world was a little brighter. Velma reached for her purse, fished out a pistol, and pointed at me. Do you know who I am, Lee? I was an actress. I starred for 1 year on Joys and Woes. They recast me after I discovered vodka and discovered that memorizing dumb dialogue is really hard when you're pissed. Drop it, Velma. Don't test me. You'll fail. She did. And she did. I pulled out my handy-dandy pocket tape recorder and hit stop. Then I pulled out the tape and snapped it in 2. Not this time. As for Jean and Zach, well, let's put it this way, dear reader, or in this case, dear viewer. I saved the taxpayers of the Sunshine State the cost of 2 unnecessary trials. 3, if you include Velma. Thanks for watching. Don't forget God loves you, and so does Johnny. Cheers.